Shit. Hold on. Here you go.
Hey everyone, just wait 1 second. We are getting ready. We're going to be heading over to a large Chicago Teachers Union's strike march here in a second. It says bear with us. We're just getting our gear ready to go. It's a little rainy here in Chicago, Illinois. And just trying to make sure everything's kind of covered up and protected. And we're going to head out to the rally right now. And hope the march hasn't taken off. From my understanding, it's going to be going to Lincoln Yards, which received, I think, a $900 million TIF funding. It's a big development here. It's been kind of central to the ongoing strike, saying that the city was able to fund this giant development but isn't able to fund education, and putting pressure on that. And so that's what we're going to watch today, as these teachers all come together to march on where that development is, as they continue to fight for smaller class sizes, more just support, or just more people in the school itself, like librarians, nurses, social workers, making them really readily available for their students instead of sort of being there one day a week and so on. So I've been hearing a lot about what's been going on. We're going to go ahead and walk over there right now. I'm going to give this microphone to John in a second when John's ready.
I'm ready.
Hey, all right, let's take us on over.
All right, hey everyone, welcome. Sorry for the delay here. Of course, I had a couple hurdles technically to get over this morning, but we are live here again in Chicago. This fine Tuesday morning. It is cold, it is wet, but as we pass by the Oscar Mayer School over here, thousands of teachers were already there and more stepping up. There's 3 different locations that teachers will be meeting at this morning. All 3 locations will be marching and then converging at Lincoln Yards. Lincoln Yards is an area of the city where the city wants to redevelop it, so they've allocated a large TIF amount, over $1 billion, to help what they call economic redevelopment. But that's all tax money, that's all taxpayer money that's earmarked for these special projects. And the claim is they help, revitalize the city, they bring resources to where there's no resources. But most of these TIFs, especially this one, it's not going to entrepreneurs or poor people who don't have resources. It's going to already million and billion-dollar corporations and real estate developers to give them incentive to build more. So TIFs could be used for good, but in often cases, especially in Chicago, they're used just to further line the pockets of the big developers, which and a lot of these projects lead to more gentrification, pushing people out of neighborhoods. But the point of the teachers meeting here and converging on Lincoln Yards, hold on, I'm going to wait for this leaf blower. So the point of the teachers converging on Lincoln Yards today, because they have over $1 billion earmarked for that, they're like, hey, the city has the money. And the city's excuse for all this is always, well, hey, all this money that you're talking about the city has is over here for this. There's no more money for public schools. The problem is, try telling that to the teachers that are out here with the oversized classrooms, without adequate prep time, trying to get the job done, trying to take care of Chicago's kids, and the city telling them, well, there's $1 billion for these developers, but there's not another $50 million to close the gap and get these kids back to school. So that's really the symbolic point of today's protest from the striking CTU.
You sure? I'm gonna try you as soon as I get okay.
And I do want to thank everyone who's been watching our coverage the last couple days. Unicorn Riot arrived in Chicago on Saturday. There was a solidarity rally at Union Park, just a very joyous event. They were trying to distract from the week of picketing. And Sunday there was also a solidarity rally. Saturday afternoon, a small group of teachers and allies who specialize in special education, they confronted the CEO of, or the president, I should say, of the Board of Education, and got him to agree to commit to being a champion for special education needs. So I think this is a big problem here in Chicago for a long time. It didn't get settled in the last strike. And just to update you on the negotiations so far, so last night there was a marathon bargaining session. They didn't leave until 2 in the morning, but they didn't come to an agreement totally. Apparently the city did move a little more forward on the class size. So they did push more money, I believe, to cover all schools as far to get a class size reduction within a certain set of years. As far as yesterday, the city had only allocated enough money for about a third of Chicago schools to try to tackle the horrendous class size issue. So the city moved on that. Really, the only sticking point that I am hearing now from both sides is the prep time, specifically for elementary teachers. We were at Locke Elementary yesterday morning. We talked to a 21-year-old veteran of Chicago Public Schools, and she said, as elementary teachers, sometimes the kids are walking in the building at 7:45. That's the same time the teachers are walking in the building. Bell rings at 7:50. The teacher has had no time to prepare for all her different classes in the day. So basically the teacher's doing that on their own time, unpaid, if they have time to do that at all. So we're really fighting for that still. And the union doesn't want to move on it because their eyes, it's not money. It's about taking care of the kids. It's about setting up these teachers for success. All right, we've made it to the park. It looks like just a minute ago, this park that is now empty was filled with thousands of red shirts, thousands of teachers from different schools who have converged on here, one of 3 different locations where teachers are meeting up.
You can take the street. Very nice.
So March is beginning. Here we go. One of 3 CTU marches. There's at least one other group, independent of CTU, that's doing a solidarity march. They didn't say their destination, but it's at the same time as this, so I can only assume that they're also going to meet up at Lincoln Yards. Teachers are taking the streets. And the march begins.
Everything what I said it's like, yes, I understand this.
Can you zip on my backpack? JP Fisher on the stream on Facebook says, "Zip your pack, mate." Thank you, JP, for the heads up. I had to quickly get this live stream going and shove my laptop back there, and we're in a little bit of hurry. So JP, thanks for looking out.
Well, he's here.
want to thank everyone for tuning in to Unicorn Riot this morning, and for everyone who's been following our coverage here in Chicago the last few days. We do appreciate you watching and sharing our feeds. It's how we're able to keep growing and spreading our media out there. We very much appreciate it. So keep in mind, for your convenience, we are multicasting on Facebook, YouTube, Livestream, and Periscope Twitter. So you can watch our live feeds on any of those channels. If one's your particular favorite or one's not working out for you, we got options for you. You can also go to our website, unicornriot.ninja, and click on the little live tab there, and it'll take you to our page of our website with the live player. You can watch from there as well, or you can also see all of our archive streams there or on YouTube. So if you missed anything over the weekend, you can go there and check it out. It's unicornriot.ninja. Many teachers and union members here at this particular leg of the march. Again, there's 3 different locations where CTU members were meeting up this morning. This is just one. There's thousands of people here. And the plan is all 3 of these marches are scheduled to meet up approximately around 9:30 Central at Lincoln Yards. So Lincoln Yards is a large chunk of land that the city wants redeveloped. So they set aside over $1 billion in TIF funds for the redevelopment, for a specific corporation to redevelop that area. And so this march is in the gathering. They're supposed to be symbolic. We're going to arrive at the yards, I'm sure, talk about the TIF funds and point out the fact that, you know, the city has $1 billion, more than $1 billion, to give to an already wealthy land developers, corporations, as just an incentive. Why is there no more money for what they say, the teachers say, is really important? And I guess what a lot of people would agree, the children, giving the children the best tools, and the people who take care of the children and teach the children the best tools for them to succeed. I think a lot of people thought last night there was a lot of people. Well, everybody was hoping for a deal to be made last night, and a lot of people thought it was possible, considering the bargaining teams on both sides stayed at the table past midnight, past 1 a.m. They didn't really decide to leave until just after 2 a.m. when they realized they were at another standstill, because they were making progress on even things that have been contentious from the city, such as allocating money for to downgrade the larger class size to a more manageable size. The city, before 2 days ago, had only in their plan had only allocated enough money for about 1/3 of the schools to help adjust their class sizes. after last night's round of bargaining, it seems the CTU CPS has moved further on that to more than 100% of funding, from what I hear, of reducing class sizes over a period of time. There seems to be one contentious issue left on the table, and that's prep time for teachers. Not all teachers, but specifically elementary teachers who just do not have any prep time. They get in a lot of them get into school at the same time as students and expected to just start.
Go in the march for a little bit so you can see what it's like. Again, thanks for joining us here in Chicago, Illinois. Here, another box. Right here. Let's get stand right here to.
Get on the right foot. Lori, right foot. Get on the right foot. right foot, get on the right foot. Lori, right foot, get on the right foot. Lori, right foot, get on the right foot.
Man, you can see how this this thing's really big. This is where the Lincoln Yards development center. So move back to the front. So once and generation development.
Sorry, students, not today. We gave your money in sterling money. Sorry, students.
This gives you a sense of how big this march is. I guess this is one of 3 going on today. From what we're hearing, we've only witnessed this one. They're all supposed to meet up, so we'll see how that looks. Thanks again for following along and watching this on Riot.com. Again, we're here in Chicago, Illinois. This is the teacher strike ongoing. This is the, I think, 9th day of our class. How many days is this now? 12?
It's the 13th total day of the strike, but it's the 9th day of missed classes.
All right, thank you. So we're watching the news here in Chicago. You can see that the bargaining team was, I think, working until 2 a.m. trying to come up with a deal. From last I read, there was something on the table that America looked like. The union said it was a path forward, and that's the last thing I heard. We got all these people out here. Again, there's no school again today, as these contract negotiations and sort of like negotiations to what education's going to look like in Chicago has been ongoing. So I think we're almost to where we're going. I'm going to go ahead and get to this intersection up here. Let's take a look again. You're watching this on Unicorn Riot. We're live in Chicago as the Chicago Teachers Union's in the street here, along with their allies, the SEIU, and a lot of other people, parents as well, who are in support. It's, you know, teachers, librarians, nurses, teachers' aides, special education teachers, special education aides, just basically a whole bunch of people right now that come together in this, I guess, this city. I've been hitting the streets now, like I said, this is the almost 2 weeks this strike has been going. It's getting nearer and nearer. Keep hearing that there's almost a bargain, there's almost the agreement that can be reached, but every day it gets pushed back. The teachers union being really clear, they feel that what they're fighting for makes sense, and it's what students need is this support in the schools. They need to be able to go and see a nurse when they need a nurse, see a counselor when they see a counselor. They have librarians who are there to help them instead of sort of like piecemeal from what we're hearing, where nurses are only in schools certain times in the week, counselors are only in schools certain times in the week. Some schools don't have libraries, some schools don't have librarians. And teachers basically have decided they're going to hit the streets and hope to try to get those things to their students. They're also asking for more prep time for elementary school teachers. I think right now is one of the holdups. Again, if you've never been a teacher, you know, you have to plan out every day. You have to also assess where you're at in your lessons. So every day you have to go back and look at what you've already done. How far did you actually get with these students? How can you prepare them further and continue to plan for that new day? And then when you finish that day, the next day you got to plan for the following day, looking at what happened the day before. And so right now I'm sure a lot of these teachers are looking at where they're at in their lesson plans, knowing they've missed a lot of class. And in order to prepare these students, they're going to have to get them through these lessons and try to get them through these different paths forward in learning. And as you heard a lot of students, students say yesterday, you know, there's a lot of different types of learners, a lot of different way people learn, different way people interact with each other. A lot of solutions are usually provided by higher ups, or like a one-size-fits-all solution. Anybody that's been in the classroom knows that all of the students are vastly different. They're all individuals. And so the teacher is also trying to gauge how to directly teach these people. But they're in the classrooms, and in order to do that, they need the time to be able to have conversations with them, be able to have one-on-one meetings with them. It's really the most effective time to work with anyone as a teacher, is just having that moment to, unless of course a student likes group work. Anyways, you know, but having that moment to go through their work and just give it the care that you really want to give students work, you know. And when you have classroom sizes that are up in, you know, itching constantly upwards, you know, this is not an uncommon thing that's happening here in Chicago. This is going on across all the school systems, including university school systems, where they continue to increase class sizes as a way to say that they're, you know, the administration or the higher ups, whatever you want to call them. So they're saving money and they're making more money for the university, but what they're really doing as well is they're impacting the actual learning of the students that are coming there. And the only way that is like communicated is by teachers who are telling them they just can't, you know, I'm trying to manage a class of 40 people. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Just imagine, like, you know, if you're going to grade their work, you have a class of 40, you know, if you're going to pretend to take 5 minutes each, you know, you can just kind of see how that math exponentially grows the more students you have. And also, it's just like the grading you're doing, you're going to get exhausted, you're going to get tired. Are you going to be able to be grading those later papers as good as you were earlier? And these are things that I think all these teachers are going through constantly as they're trying to make sure they're giving their students the time they need. And again, I'm currently your host. My name is Lorenzo. I did have a few classes I taught once in the university, and again, all these teachers are basically preparing students for university. You know, they're getting them ready for higher levels of learning and preparing them to teach them like how do you actually like intake information, how do you actually learn that information, how do you interact with that information. And this is like years of work. You know, you're looking at public schools, elementary school systems, kindergarten systems, high school systems, and universities, and all of those are actually in concert. All of these teachers understand that. Teachers are in higher ed and all of that like, as these teachers have enough time to prepare their students when they get into university, there's a lot of work that those teachers who aren't trained in that work don't have to do. You know, it's like a lot of these, you know, it's like different. It's just a lot of information. I don't know how to explain it to you, but teachers are a pretty big deal. All these people are taking it pretty seriously. They want their students to have the best they possibly can. And I would say the class sizes, as somebody who has taught in a much smaller class, you know, I was teaching, I think it was 23, and that was a lot. And even in that, the administration was also always trying to put more students in classes, and all the grad students were constantly trying to make sure that the class sizes didn't grow, because you can imagine, and you know, I was an English teacher. You have 20 students, you want to spend 15, 20 minutes on a paper with them. You only want to spend as much time as you can with them. And you just, the more you have, the less you can do, the more exhausted you are, the more you just, you know. And I think in the end, what we're hearing a lot is like, you know, the youth is the future. It is kind of what's going to take over whatever happens next. A lot of the people who are in these positions of power came from these public school systems. If we've been following along, a lot of sort of rallies, we've heard a lot of conversations from former CPS students who are now in positions of power, saying like, look, these schools created me, helped create me who I am right now, and I want to make sure those exist for the upcoming student population. And in order to do that, they feel they have to struggle to get these schools in a position and a place where they can, you know, fulfill what these students. So that's what we're hearing here. Again, if you want to hear what the city state's saying is that they don't have the money, they can afford that. There's a big push to, they can't afford it, they don't have any money, but then again, the teachers here are saying that, you hear them saying that they want the money the Lincoln Yards took. From what I read, it's like $1 billion investment. One of the numbers that I signed was $900 million. I've heard all from $900 million to $1.5 billion of money just went into this development, and all of these teachers are saying, look, like if instead of developing this, you could have invested in the students and actually like in the future instead of another development that they feel is just going to be for the upper class. Alright, so it looks like we're getting closer to where we're going. You can see a rally of folks up ahead. Okay, if you're watching this on UnicornRiot.Ninja. I'm your current host, Lorenzo. We got John on the ground here, I think, firing some tweets out onto the internet, some pictures and stuff. If you want to take a different look, you can look at us on Twitter at @UR_Ninja. Again, we're just here in Chicago to follow this teacher strike. You can see the massive size of it. It is pretty big march here. Again, this is a march of with the teacher strike in solidarity. There's a bunch of teachers right here. You know, if you're listening to the rhetoric we've been hearing from the ground, the words we've been hearing, again, we're doing our best to interview people who are involved in these marches, the youth students who are in solidarity to hear why they're here, why they're doing this. And yeah, a lot of people just feel they're yeah, you can see this other march over here. Yeah, you know, they do this for their students. We had a lot of really impassioned speeches from students yesterday, talking about how the effect of these teachers in their lives, how much of a positive effect it has been, how a lot of them had very uplifting stories of their experiences in the CPS, but also some not so uplifting where people were hurt and weren't able to see a nurse while at school, and it's sort of wondering why is that okay? You know, why do I get hurt and then there's nobody in the nurse's office? And so some stories like that as well. Alright, so we're gonna get to this other march here. I think they're all gonna meet up. We can see this. See if I can zoom in here. You see that march over there is where we're heading. Again, we are a 501c3 educational nonprofit. All of this is for non-commercial use. All of our content is free, provided for free onto the internet using Creative Commons non-commercial share alike. Basically saying that anyone can sort of remix our work as long as they're not trying to profit from it, the imagery and the video that we have caught. For a lot of reasons, that's kind of where our organization's at. We find ourselves in positions where where a lot of people are putting a lot of risk on the line, and we would just hate to see somebody commercialize that, I guess. But also, we can only do this with your support. It's kind of weird, but we're not selling it. But we do ask people who want to, support us to keep create this non-commercial content that's free for anyone to have access to the internet. Of course, we understand people who don't have access to the internet. We have to be really conscious of that. But people do all this is available for free on the internet on different social media platforms, as well as our website, UnicornRiot.Ninja. If you do like this kind of work, I would definitely check out our website, UnicornRiot.Ninja. Check out our support our work page. We also have a current fundraiser, about $5 a month. We're asking, we're trying to get about 2,000 new subscribers, or patrons. We also have a patron page too you can check out on Patreon. But we're trying to get there. If we can do that, I think we'll be able to provide this more coverage, sort of more constantly. We're just trying to get a little backbone of a support, and then we're going to sort of deploy our teams everywhere. We have a lot of equipment we've been sort of gathering with people's support, and we're really excited for the next phase of our org, but we do need to see if we can get to this number. Again, let's check it out. Keep Unicorn Riot operational, sustainable, 2020. Let's keep us out in the streets in 2020. We need your help. UnicornRiot.Ninja. Get what you can. I think we're about to get. Oh, here's the big march. It's all gonna meet up. Alright, so you can see folks are meeting up here. And chanting, "We are family." If you're watching this on Unicorn Riot. So thanks a lot for joining us. If you want to keep getting alerts, please go ahead and hit that follow and like button. We're not a commercial entity. We don't pay anything for advertisement. The only way people see our work is if you share it and so on. Let people know about it. So thank you so much to all the people who've been doing that. We're going to keep following this CTU strike march. We can hear the SEIU is out here as well in support from what we're hearing, the chants. Again, they were both on strike. I think the SEIU has a tentative agreement, and so we're kind of waiting for the teachers to get an agreement, but they also said they would not be crossing the picket lines. So, all right, so we're back in the middle of this march. It's now grown. I think 3 marches are supposed to have come together. So if you saw how big that first one was, I think it just tripled. And we're going to keep following it. Thanks again for following us. We'll stay here all the ground line. Thanks. Going to the front real quick. Alright, so it's showing us right here in Chicago. We're going to be moving, I think, into this area for a rally, it looks like. Some big speakers set up. Again, if we get
What do we want? Where do we want it? What do we want? A fair contract. Where do we want it? What do we want? Where do we want it? What do we want? Where do we want it? If we don't get it, shut it down. We don't get it. If we don't get it. And we don't get it, 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 and we don't get it. Did everyone is still in? They don't open up the park for us. We're gonna fill in around. Marshals, please get in place to stop the crowd that's still in. Marshals, we need all marshals in place. We need all marshals in place. We're going to soak up this beautiful soccer field that was over $2.3 billion invested in this soccer area. We are in Lincoln Yards. We are in Lincoln Yards. Where they apply some of the TIP money to go.
If you're just joining us right here in Chicago, we're in the Lincoln Yards. You can hear them chanting that right now. It's a giant development here that's seen billions of dollars in development.
Who's got the power?
CTU, the teachers union,
Who's got the power?
so there is money available.
Who's got the power?
Money on this area.
What kind of power? Union power. Who's got the power?
Everyone here.
Who's got the power? What kind of power? Union power. What kind of power? What kind of power? What kind of power? Who's got the power? Who's got the power? Who's got the power? Who's got the power? What kind of power? What kind of power? What kind of power? What kind of power? Yes, thank the Lord. We're in the Marshall, please get in place. All marshals, we need every marshal in place to control the traffic. While we're controlling the rest, we need to say, all marshals, please get in place so our members can know their responsibility.
There's a lot of people coming in here, so it looks like right now they're trying to gather everybody here. There's going to be a rally, thousands of teachers and supporters. I can't count how many there is, but you're getting the sense of it. We're in the middle of it here. Again, we are live here in Chicago as the teachers continue to be on the street, to be able to say they want their demands to be heard. We are here, and the bargaining team was in the office, or at least at the table until 2 in the morning. There was no agreement reached. So you see again the strike is ongoing. The public schools are all out as the teachers are in the street asking to be heard, demanding to be heard. And yeah, so we're just gonna keep staying here and kind of see what happens. So thanks a lot for joining us. Again, this is live. This is the Chicago Teacher Strike March today. And there was yesterday there was pickets at schools. Today decided to kind of make a rather mass come out into the street together and do a march here to Lincoln Yards. Lincoln Yards being $1 billion development. These teachers and people in Chicago are saying that, hey, what's not money invested into the public school system that services all of the students?
So please help yourself to food. A discount for Taco Tuesday. See a food truck on the other end. We are here at Lincoln Yards. The host of this brand, Tim Tutton, the Hideout owners, welcoming us. picket line in Lincoln Yard. Where they invested billions of dollars in this area. Billions. I didn't say millions. I said billions of dollars. Yes, they don't want to give us 32 million. But they can give somebody 3 billion. Well, I guess their priorities are messed up. Their priorities are not in the schools. The priorities is not in Marshall. Okay, you have to stop filling in on the sidewalks as well. We need you to get right behind the cameras. We need some nice signs. We need some nice members behind the cameras. We need to post some banners up on the gate because it's public property. Not tax dollars. We want the students to be able to enjoy this area. We want everybody to fill in. Fill in the street, fill in on the sidewalk, fill in soccer park. We got the porta potties in soccer park, the soccer park in the back of the soccer park field. You can fill in behind the camera people, fill in behind the cameraman. Fill in behind the
Chicago. If you don't know, let Facebook know that really like live streams being shut down when somebody's playing music in the background because the event is still historic and unfolding. And they're sort of making decisions with algorithms. But anyways, I just want to mention that I'm talking a lot to try to see if I can make that not happen. So I'm going to keep talking for a second as we listen to the background go through the song ongoing. I'm just trying to see if I can block it out so we don't get all our audio shut down. You can see there's thousands and thousands of students. Wow, students are here, but teachers. You can see there's some youth as well, and some students are.
There's plenty of room in the back of the soccer field, so please take the whole movement to the back of the soccer field. Let's fill it up. There's plenty of space. Plenty of space. If we gotta take the side streets, let's take the side streets. But let's fill up soccer field. Make sure you just have an entry to get to the porta potty. But let's fill up the field. Let's chant in the field. Let's do it. This is our picket line. We are about the picket line to Lincoln Yards. So everything that you're going to do on your school picket line, we can kick it off right here.
We're sitting here watching this
we can kick it off right here.
We're all on strike right now in Chicago.
Because we asked for a fair contract.
People who are out here.
And if we don't get it, 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 if we don't get it.
Now we're in the soccer fields. I think we're.
If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Make some noise. Say, show me what democracy looks like. 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 This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
You hit the battery button? Battery, hit the battery button on this thing. I'm here. Quick.
Show me what democracy looks like. 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 This is what democracy looks like. Make some noise.
It's like a... Alright, so here's one people. Other ones on strike, can't go that way. Yeah, I'm just like trying to like... So yeah, here is all these folks. Oh, here. Let's film your side. All right, talk about earlier about grading times. So let's go ahead and see here. Number of students, 2 minutes per paper. So we have 125, that's 4 hours. 150, 5 hours. 175, 6 hours. 207 hours. And so you can see how that number just jumps exponentially the more time you spend on the paper. And also, if you'll want to spend more time on the paper. That's from my understanding. Do you want to talk about it at all? Like, sort of like how the exponential growth of like grading times and stuff, you know, the more students.
It's really difficult. I'm a high school English teacher, and I last year taught a dual credit class.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. And if I wanted to give meaningful feedback, those kids wrote 10 and 12 page papers twice a week. And if I did that, I wouldn't have been able to deal with any of the rest of my kids. And I have 2 preps a day, and one of them is through the principal, and I share my classroom, so I have to find somewhere to go, pack up, unpack my laptop. So realistically, every day I get about 30 minutes to grade is all. So there's got to be smaller classes. I have friends that have 56 freshmen sitting in front of them. There's not a chance, even if they spent 2 minutes a paper, that they could ever get through all their classes with 5 classes. It's got to be smaller.
What do you want to do? Anyways, yeah, so I just want... Alright, I'm in picture and I had to do the math for this sign. And I guess, like, do you want to talk about that one-on-one time as an English teacher and somebody's writing, and like how important it is? You know?
I don't have any one-on-one time. The last time I tried to do one-on-one meetings with kids, I had 36 kids in my class. One had a one-on-one para, and there had to be 2 other special ed teachers in the room with us. And it was impossible to do one-on-one. The only time a kid can get one-on-one is if they come after school or during their lunch period, assuming we're off the same period. Kids don't get any one-on-one attention. If they're struggling, if they need something, we just don't have time.
And that's because the class sizes are so big. And I guess how important is that one-on-one time with mostly a writing student?
They need the one-on-one to be able to reflect on their writing and to get better, especially the kids that are college bound. They want feedback. They want to know how to get better. And if they don't have the one-on-one, it's too hard to meet them all where they are. So they need that in order to improve. Otherwise, we're not differentiating instructions, which is one of the big things they want us to do too. That needs to happen because everybody learns differently. So.
Well, thank you so much. So that's one of the students out here. Students, again, I keep calling students. Teachers out here, teaching students. English teacher talking about this. I actually saw that sign yesterday. And so like just talking about what is that like to grade papers and class sizes. You know, I can imagine. She said that one of her friends had a class size of 56. Just imagine breaking that down. You know, just how much time that is. You know, and I think that it's a good little thing to think about. Just sort of like if you're in a room, there's 12 people in that room, and you want to make sure that you hear everybody out equally, and you give them out equal time. I mean, so you're giving each of them a minute to listen to them. That's 12 minutes. You want to give them 2 minutes, which isn't that much time. That's 24. You want to give them 3. You know, so it's like exponential time. When you're trying to give people time, it's just the equal amount of time and attention, which you want to mostly want to do when you're a teacher. And it accelerates the amount of time. It's just like so much. And so just having a smaller class size, again, you just know you can spend that time you want to spend with your students. And hopefully, I can't imagine not having one-on-one time. Again, I was in a university system, which again was trying to shove more people into the classroom. And that's already happened here in the public school systems and across the country as they try to make these class sizes bigger. Again, this in the university, it was this idea of creating more, like making it more profitable for the school. But really, the education, the ability to educate, it goes down when you don't have enough time to spend on people. And I can't emphasize that enough. Again, that's my experience. Everyone's experience as a teacher, I'm sure, is different. Classrooms are different, and so on. I was not in a public school system, so I don't know what that was like. But I just know that time constraint and how frustrating it is to not be able to spend that time with your students that you have. So yeah, so that's what they're out here for.
Over here, please fill in. We got people all the way out on the outfield.
All right, so like, so that's feel like shared on. I'm saying this white. Yeah, so people are still coming in. That person has walked by, so that people are still in the street, filtering in here, trying to get people to move over to fill in this space more. We'll say here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up back in the front because that's where the speaker was at. So we wanted to get away. There you go. There's a wake up thing. So like, yeah. So I think there's gonna be some speakers in the rally here. Maybe we're gonna find out where I don't know. We'll find out something. But yeah, so we're gonna sit here for a while, just gonna watch people filter in. Maybe speak to a few people as they come by. Just keep the camera alive. So again, thanks for joining us here in Chicago as we follow the Chicago teachers strike, the SEAU strike, this kind of dual unified strike that's been ongoing here and has brought just thousands of people out today, thousands of teachers who are still in negotiations, still bargaining to get the contract they want. As they said, they have it put it in paper is one of their hashtags, hashtag CTU strike. Check. This is Lorenzo. I'm officially your host. I am free. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Lorenzo with the Unicorn Riot. We're here in the middle of the Chicago teachers strike. You can see we're surrounded by what I think is striking teachers, their students, their allies. Thousands of teachers out here saying they want a fair contract. They want that signed and put in paper now. Negotiations are going into 2 in the morning last night. They're still, from right, probably have restarted. I'm not exactly sure. I think we're going to probably find out right now. The teachers did say there was, or at least the bargaining team said there was an offer on the table they felt was a good path forward at about 2 in the morning, but we haven't really heard anything from there. I can take a look later on the internet, see where we're at. But we're just going to bring it through here. We're in Chicago. The teacher strike is ongoing. You can just take a look around. Like, just look all over all of these folks. And yeah, we'll see if anyone wants to talk. Anyone want to talk while you're here? All right, everyone's going to be here for a bit. We understand there's also going to be a rally up front. Do y'all want to talk about why you're here at all? We get pretty bashful, so I'm kind of on the live camera with a mic here. Anybody? Hey, let's tell us what's going on. Like, where's all these? What's going on here?
Well, we're just coming together, trying to stay strong and fight for what we think is best for the city, for the city's kids. I think you see a very determined group of dedicated teachers here, and we'll just do what we need to make our schools better. Okay.
And I guess I know, like right now, all the students they're not in class. I guess what would you tell the students right now who are waiting for this also agreement to come between the adults? I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we all feel badly to have them out of class, especially seniors. I have a lot of seniors, and they're applying to colleges. But I also know that we have our students here with us. They went to City Hall yesterday. They know what this is about, and they're involved in it. So hopefully we'll be back soon, and they know that we have their best interests at heart.
What was that like to see all those students yesterday at City Hall?
It's gratifying, it's great, and it just shows that this isn't just about teachers, it's about our whole community, and these kids know that we're doing this for them and for the city, and they're a part of it. So it's been remarkable. It's been amazing.
Thank you so much. Who else should I talk to here? He's got a tag. Let's keep tagging people. Hey, just Mike, just let us know why you're here. Yeah, okay, people are going to be hanging out. We're going to try to get interviews. I do my best to kind of just lure it out there, but again, people are also really excited to be together. As you can see, there's all these people who came together. And so we're just going to keep the camera live, show you what's going on here. Hey. And try to get a few interviews as we can. But like I said, it'll be a second. And there's also going to be a rally. We'll get up there in a moment, so. Take a look at it. Talk about weather here. You see all these people they're still coming in. They're still trying to arrange people here in this park. And again, we're in Lincoln Yards. For instance, $1 billion development. Teachers want to bring attention to it. Like, hey, look, the city invested this much here. How can they invest into the students and into the public education system? And so, yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're watching all these teachers come in. Teachers come in, and we understand there's going to be a rally. But just based on how it's set up, they have a podium up there and sound system. It looks like it's probably going to go down. But yeah, we're just going to keep walking around, showing you things. I'll try to get some interviews. Like I said, in my experience, people just, want to get together, hang out together, and unless they don't want to talk. Brought the picket line to Lincoln Yards.
We're doing this again.
All right, so let's go this way. Let's not get too close to our house. Just trying to get people in here, it looks like. You don't want to talk about? about why you're here.
I can't hear.
Oh, I'm just wondering if anybody wants to talk about why they're here.
In the neighborhood.
Do you want to talk about your sign at all? Is this like an old sign or?
My mom's side from the 80s.
What's it like? Is it okay if I interview you a little bit or not? I guess what's it like to just walk, I guess, in your footsteps of your mother, if that's what's going on, or?
Oh, it's exciting, and we're trying to stay on track and fight for our rights and all the things that teachers before us have done.
So you're carrying on that legacy. All right, thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like people are just hanging out. That sign is like her mother's sign. She said like is now carrying out here as a teacher. So much.
We have to go into Home Depot. We have to go to the back of the soccer field to use the washroom.
Now let's see over here.
Soccer truck on the other end.
Alright, let's keep walking around again. We're just trying to get a few interviews. Oh, this is the bathroom line. Wow, very exciting. I don't think there's a way out. Let's not go this way. It's just a bathroom line. What's this bathroom? Sorry. Not just also a bathroom line. Very important. Very important thing. So you really see the patience come on, folks. Alright, so. Raining. It's starting to sprinkle more? It's starting to sprinkle more, I think. This is no. Oh. Can you get it? Or? You need a. You have a. It's like it's starting to rain.
Millions of dollars in this area.
You can wait a little bit, but it's starting. It feels like it's starting to increase.
Now over here, Lincoln Yard. So now join that beautiful soccer field, that public soccer field. We want our students on that soccer
All right, everybody. I'm just going to keep staying here for a bit. Thousands of teachers right now are filtering into this area. And we're going to wait to see what the rally is about. And just stay here live and show it to you. And I'm Lorenzo, your host right now. You can see there's people on buildings over here who are on looking. This is Lincoln Yards area, which has been redeveloped right now. We're saying this soccer field that they're saying was just sort of created with this money being injected into the area. And yeah. Speaker saying this is a rich neighborhood. We're gonna move back this other way.
Yeah, I think I gotta go back.
Do you want to talk about why you're here at all?
Yeah, that was good.
Do you want to talk about why you're here at all? That's why I asked. It's live. We're live right now. There's probably thousands of people watching. So. I guess there may be 1,000. I don't know how many people are watching. Probably a few hundred. Thank you so much for watching. Again, folks are here. They're going to be hanging out, waiting for the speaker to come on. Again, yesterday the CTU wanted teachers on picket lines in their schools. So they said there's going to be no picket lines. So they're going to have 3 marches that all came together here to Lincoln Yards, which has sort of been central to the conversation around these contracts, as this giant point that the city invested billions of dollars into, and basically saying that they want that sort of investment into the public school systems as well, to support their students as well. And so we were brought here so to take a look at the area and just bring attention to this again, that there was this giant investment recently into development over students, or like physical infrastructure development, or just for this area, this neighborhood. Very localized. The public school system would be like across the public school system. Lost my hat. I wonder how. Is this so many people? Like, how do you meet somebody here?
Oh, hi.
Oh, it worked. I saw it happen. I was like, people are trying to find each other in the crowd. And yeah. It's getting worse. Not getting better. Anyways, it's a little drizzly here, a little rainy. And so right now we're trying to kind of check some of our gears. The rain kind of increased a little bit. I understand the temperature's supposed to be dropping down here in Chicago. The past few days have been like pretty tolerable, I guess. It was really rainy. It's been like rainy, but it hasn't been horrible. Yesterday wasn't so bad. We'll see how this goes. We got all these people out here, thousands of teachers out here demanding a fair contract. It's making themselves really visible here in Lincoln Yards. We're here in an upper-class neighborhood that has a lot of city development money put into it, and teachers are trying to bring attention to that money, or at least investment or money like that can go into the public school system, which reaches across the city. And so we'll see what happens again. I'm just hearing these things, and we'll see how it goes. gonna try to get back to the front here. Again, a lot of people. It's gonna be really hard to get back to the front, but we're gonna try. Excuse us. Pardon me. Oh, geez, it's so terrible. Pardon me.
So 24 years ago today, on October 29, 1996, we bought this barn, all right? And we built this into the hideout, and this bar has been here 100 years, since the Civil War. The building was built in the 1860s. It survived the Spanish-American War. It survived World War I, World War II, the Great Depression. It survived Vietnam, and through it all, it was a bar that was built by working class people, a union bar made by workers who labor in the steel mills and the factories all around this neighborhood. 1 year ago, the city sold fleet management, tore down the building, and declared this area blighted. Sterling Bay came in and was given $1 billion in a tip. And today, we are out in the streets striking so that we can get good schools for our kids. We are part of the 150-year tradition of working people in the city, working to create schools that make a better life for our children. If any of you have ever been to a block party here at the Hideout, this is a block party, but this is what a democracy looks like. This is our city. This is our streets. This is our country. This is our time.
Excuse me, pardon me. I'm just gonna try again. The camera, the front.
Yes, this is our time. This is our country. This is our city. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. Make some noise! We'll be right back. I'm trying to get the speaker list together. We have still members coming in. Hit the music, DJ. This Waffle Force fan contract. We're gonna pick it lines.
So we have to walk away now.
We're gonna teachers. We're gonna have a nurses back in.
They cough really loud. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna pick it line and lick the yard. Boosting our spirits, encouraging our fellow teachers, brothers and sisters to stay strong in this fight. It's not easy. We have been out here sacrificing, and it's not easy. But we're gonna boost your spirits, get loose a little bit. I'll be right back with a moment.
The bleacher. They're making it there. Anyways, yeah, we don't know how long it's going to take for all of us to come in here again. There's just thousands and thousands of teachers on strike. They're all coming in here for this rally that's supposed to happen. But we just walk to the entrance. You can see there's this.
We have a lot of space in soccer field, so you can definitely fill in soccer field. There's a lot of space still in soccer
Marshals
field.
are telling people to come in here. You can see people are leaving. They're heading the other way.
That's Wobble Force fan contract.
Fence area. So I'll wait in here and see.
DJ.
I crossed by you. I looked right
had to move away because they started playing the old music, and we're worried that it might have already happened. But I think Facebook and YouTube will flag your video if you're even live, and some sort of copyrighted material maybe playing in the background. And that's the future, the dystopian future we're entering. So we're just here, Selfish College Teachers Strike. We're just waiting for the speakers to get started. We're just to keep the camera rolling. Again, thanks for joining us here. We just want to bring Chicago to you as these teachers are out in the street. Thousands. I mean, I don't know how. Not really great estimated numbers, but I'm pretty sure, way more than sure. There's thousands of people here. It is wild. More people are coming in. Again, if you're just joining us here, we're here in Chicago at the Chicago Teachers Union strike march on Lincoln Yards. That's what you're kind of looking at right now on your screen. There's thousands of people right now who are waiting for the rest of the march to get here, gathered together, and then there's going to be a rally of some sort. It's set up that way. So there's going to be a rally, some speakers. We'll probably get some updates on what's how negotiating and bargaining. I think it's the correct way it's going. And we just wanted to bring you here again. This is day. What's it, Dwayne?
It's the 13th official day, the 9th day of missed classes.
13th official day of the strike, 9th day of missed classes.
The president of SEIU, Local 73, Diane Palmer.
All right, so let's just speak. So it's right now the speaker's podium. We can't see from here. The president of SEIU is going to be speaking about the. All right, a little closer. That's.
Yo, I know that you got a lot of things, but I'm here to set the record straight. I know that everybody understands that SEIU is not
I went over to the.
What we said is that even if we disagree, we will not cross SEIU.
So the president of SEIU is making it clear that if there's an agreement that's reached, the SEIU will not be crossing CTU's picket lines. There's a lot of people. You can't really move around. You get stuck. It's all good.
I want to tell you a couple of things that I know. We will not have this agreement without the strength of CTU. All of you, and we
we're stuck in here now, where we live. What do you want to do? Well, I think there's an exit over there. All right, we're just gonna keep trying to get closer. Again, the president of SEIU right now is speaking, saying that they're just making it clear they're not going to cross any picket lines if they do reach an agreement with CPS. And so we're going to try to see if we can get out. It's a closed fence door. Oh, it's locked. Wow. Yeah, this is it. So it's like something in a locked cage. Anyways, I don't know why I kept walking this way. So there's one entrance. We're going to go back towards it. You saw how packed it was. I'm going to try to get through there, see if we can get back to the front of this rally. So.
Good morning, everyone. It's kind of crazy staying out here, but 30,000 people. My name is David Range, D-A-V-I-D-R-A-N-G. I'm a sophomore at Linwood Method Science Academy. My name is D. Camacho, D-C-A-M.
This is some of the student organizers who organized the march on City Hall yesterday.
Today, I want to urge the importance of neighborhood schools and the importance of youth within our community. Most students of color throughout Chicago do not have the opportunity to attend well-funded schools. This leads most of CPS students to attend their local high school. The median income for a Southside household is $20,150. This money is directly used to pay off high property taxes, monthly bills, insurance, food, clothing, healthcare, taxes. Not to mention, if you get any form of a ticket, you have to pay it out too. Why does this matter? It matters because it's these same households who have children who do not get accepted into well-funded schools, then they're forced to attend community high schools, where funding is low. Then when it comes to children to attend college, they can't go because their parents cannot afford tuition. Do you know who else has children and other financial responsibilities? CPS teachers. If these people cannot afford financial support for these students, this then jeopardizes thousands of CPS students' lives because the mayor and the rest of the team, who are supposed to be working for the people, are instead trying to build up a brand new community in an extremely already developed part of the city. They're giving this Lincoln Yards project $1.6 billion over 23 years. Let that sink into your head. They'd rather fund privileged communities over the ones who need it the most. Not tax high corporations. Let the high class get tax breaks, instead of using the money they have to invest into the schools that need them. I stand before you because I know I am not alone when I say we need to demand Lori Lightfoot, who said, and I quote during her campaign, I will ensure that there will not be a strike. That these schools on the south side need funding and need this funding ASAP. The longer she waits to fund these schools is another graduating class not being funded properly. All schools should be funded throughout the city of Chicago, regardless of the community. When will this end? It needs to end now. These students are the future, and if you cannot fund the future, then why are you investing in the future? Why are you not investing in the future at all? Thank you.
We interviewed that one, or that person, right? Yeah, I think it was that student yesterday. That was the person we actually interviewed yesterday.
And we can all agree that improvements should be made. Developing Lincoln Yards is not one of them. We don't need more warehouses. We don't need more apartments that only the rich can afford. These are not necessities when you have schools that lack nurses and social workers, classrooms where not every student gets the attention they deserve because the teacher is trying to juggle 39 others, and English learners that are forced to learn and be tested in a language they don't know. The education of CPS students, especially black and brown students, should come before the luxuries of the rich. Lincoln Yards is receiving $1.6 billion over 23 years. 23 years. My 10-year-old sister by then would be out of college. Are you telling me that in the year she has left, she will be offered the bare minimum when it comes to her education? Together, black and brown students make up 83.8% of the student body in CPS. Hispanics make up 46.7% of the student body. That is nearly half. Lori Lightfoot said, Chicago will always be a welcoming city and a champion for the rights of our immigrant and refugee communities. Are we really a sanctuary city? You say you welcome us, yet you welcome ICE. You say you protect immigrants, but what about their children? We need funding. We need education for English learners. We need you to listen and put it in writing. Once again, we don't need a playground for the rich. We are the future. We should use the TIF money to fund this contract. We won't settle for the bare minimum. The only ones with a playground should be students. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes! Our students. So we out here fighting for our students. We're going to have Amisha from Grassroots Collaborative come up and talk about why we're here and all the investments that they have invested over here in Lincoln Yards. Give a round clap of applause. Give a hand clap to Amisha. Stay on the church, y'all.
Good morning, Chicago! Once again, the streets of this city are red because the streets belong to the people. It's so good to be here with you today. So we're here. I'm with Grassroots Collaborative. We're a community labor coalition that Chicago Teachers Union has been a member of for the last decade. And in this work together, we have consistently fought against the racist abuse of TIFs, tax increment financing dollars, that have consistently gone to the downtown developers and to move the city's corporate agenda at the expense of our children. Is that right? Is that right? We fought against Chicago Mercantile Exchange, who actually was given $15 million to rehab their bathrooms. Now, do they need golden toilets, or do our children need books? We fought against that. We fought against United Airlines. We fought against Miller Coors. We fought against the basketball stadium. We fought against the Hyatt Hotel over and over and over. The people who get our tax dollars are not the low-income neighborhoods that TIFs are meant for, but they're the downtown developers that pad their profits off of our backs. Get off our backs! That's right! So, all of this last year came to a head when everything that the city has done over the last decade was blown away by the latest deals pushed by Mayor Emanuel and ultimately not vetoed by Mayor Lightfoot. And that is Lincoln Yards, and that is the 78, where a combined $2.4 billion are going to support these downtown developments at the expense of our neighborhoods. Is that right? Are we going to fight? We are not settling for this. We know. In Lincoln Yards in particular, this is some of the wealthiest land in the city. The property values in Lincoln Yards have steadily been growing every single year. And if the vote did not happen the moment it did, it would have been illegal to be able to pass the TIF district in this area. But we know it already was illegal. It's in violation of the Civil Rights Act. It's racial discrimination, and this TIF district never should have been created. We have a Mercedes dealership right here.
We have the richest, wealthiest part of the city, and this TIF district means that in land that is growing in value, instead of that increased value going back to our schools and our neighborhoods, that increased value is going back to reimburse Sterling Bay for their infrastructure. Meanwhile, what's the infrastructure like on the south side, on the west side, in our neighborhoods, in our communities? We know that the resources are here and that when the city decides to be creative, the city finds the money. There was $2 billion suddenly found for Amazon to lure one of the wealthiest companies into our city. But they can't find $38 million to settle this contract? The elites of this city would have you believe that building bridges in Lincoln Park for luxury developments is the best investment we can be making to create jobs and grow our economy. But we disagree. We think the best investment you can make in the future of the city is building educational bridges on the south side, on the west side, for opportunity for our students. We believe black children and not luxury developments are where we should be investing city resources. This is why Grassroots Collaborative and Raise Your Hand is suing the city for this racist TIF district that is in violation of TIF statute and of our civil rights. And we will continue to fight, we will organize, we will win the SPUD contract for our children, and we will win justice for the city of Chicago. Thank you. Yes! When we fight, we win! When we fight, we win! We winning! We're gonna call Raise Your Hand, parents and community activists, Andrea, we started and Good morning, my name is Andrea Toolson. I am a parent of 2 CPS students and a Raise Your Hand board member. We are here today for our kids. My kids, your kids, everyone's kids. Every child in this city deserves to know their education is a priority and that we care about them more than we do about any massive luxury development. Our kids need to know the mayor and CPS leadership will prioritize resources for their education. To borrow from a remarkable young person signed from yesterday's student protest, students are not a bailout. Our kids are our future and they deserve every day in every classroom in this city what Raise Your Hand, our teachers and our support staff engaged in these negotiations and all the groups here today, what we've been fighting for years. Yes, we are tired of waiting and we are not going anywhere until our kids get all the basics that they need. They need a student to social worker ratio that is in line with professional standards, not for some children, for all children. They need fully resourced special education staff and services, not for some children who need services, but for all children who need them. They need a nurse, a case manager, and a librarian in all schools, not some schools, for all children. They need reasonable classroom sizes, not for some children, for all children. They need a quality school day, not for some children, say it with me, for all children. For years, Raise Your Hand has gone before the Board of Education and relentlessly called on the mayor, not to ask for luxuries, but to beg for the basics. Clean classrooms, meeting the district's basic legal obligations to deliver special education services, safe playgrounds, reasonable staffing levels, and class size numbers. These are not a bailout. They are the basics, and we accept nothing less. Now Mayor Lightfoot will say there's not money, the city's broke, but we stand here today in the midst of what will soon be a vast luxury development in a non-blighted area of the city, and part of it will be financed with $1.3 billion of our tax dollars. This TIF will divert tax revenue for 23 years, and that's our money that won't go to our schools or to other vital services. And you know what? That deal got put in writing. So Mayor Lightfoot, Dr. Jackson, unelected CPS Board of Education, you need to reverse the years of failed priorities and policies that systematically disinvested in our schools. the basics. This is what every one of our kids deserves. We are all here today. We are all here with you today. Yes, we're tired, but we're also energized. We are so grateful, all of you who are part of the Chicago's fight to preserve and sustain the public good that is public education. Together we will remain strong and continue to demand the basics while the city of Chicago spends money on luxuries like Lincoln Yards. Thank you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're here in Chicago. The teacher strike is ongoing. This rally has brought all these teachers here in Lincoln Yards.
Hi,
And there's listening to the speakers right now. Thanks for joining us.
Nguyen. I'm a parent volunteer with Raise Your Hand. I'm also a board member with Illinois Families for Public Schools. I'd be remiss to stand here today at this site where Lincoln Yards is well underway and not highlight the injustice during this historic strike about justice and equity. I'd be neglectful to not address the insidious nepotism and scandals that fuel the inequitable physical and social infrastructures in our city. Since its inception, Lincoln Yards has been tainted. Sterling Bay, one of Chicago's biggest developers, purchased Finkel's Steel site in December of 2016. In February of 2017, the city sold the Goose Island Yard to pay for the new 311 system. Nearly $21 million from this sale was used to purchase the Garfield Park property, where the construction of the state-of-the-art of the $95 million training facility for Chicago police and fire recruits, aka the Cop Academy. Ooh. In the summer of 2017, Sterling Bay emerged as the winning bidder, although not the highest bidder, for the fleet management lot. And to date, the only funds, about $28 million, the city currently has on hand to build the facilities for the new Cop Academy came from that sale. So how do we have $33 million for resource school officers, but not for social workers? How do we have $95 million for a building for police while our schools are crumbling? Connect the corporate dots, and we'll see exactly where there's money for everything else in this city, including this soccer field, everything else except for our schools and for the poor and working class. Lincoln Yards, we officially know as the Portland-Chicago River Tip, proceeded with incredible expediency through the City Hall. The fast tracking to approve the SIP district that's going to cipher $477 million from CPS coffers in the next 23 years. This highlights the misplaced priorities of the city's administration. I want to see that type of speed when it comes to getting a child services for the IEP, or high school students getting the help they need from counselors and social workers to help them navigate a system determined to keep them from being their best selves. Our parents, our teachers, our children, we're exhausted from striking. Our children miss their teachers miss their students, the kids miss their friends, they miss learning. We are tired. We are tired of waiting for CPS to prioritize all CPS students. We're tired for the state to finally publicly fund our schools, and we're tired for our mayor to finally come through on campaign promises. We are tired and weary, but we are energized with the collective sense of justice and morality. As I look over at this sea of community members all over the city of Chicago, gathered here today on the 9th day of the strike, I'm invigorated knowing that these injustices have brought us together in a collective and authentic sense of solidarity. So I'm beyond grateful for you all. Thank you so much. Organizer, come up. We want money. We want want books. We want the money that Lincoln Yard took. We want money. We want books. We want the money that Lincoln Yard took. We want our money. We want books. We want the money that Lincoln Yard took. Woo! Chicago teachers, I'm here in the bearer of bad news, but also good news. Our officers got called back to bargaining, so they will not be coming down here with us today. They are at the table, which is good news. We know that they are fighting hard. Our bargaining team is there. We are here to show them and show the city where they can find that money. Who liked the treasure map? Do you guys like the treasure map today? We found the money, Lori. The money is here. We need Lincoln Yards to put pressure on giving some of that money back or figuring out how to help Lori how to do her job. Currently, as we speak, we are preparing to make sure that her partners put pressure on her. We know that she will listen to her friends. We know that she will listen to our parents. And what Stacy said is that it's time to double down. It is time to ensure that every single parent and every single student is calling all of Lori and her friends to give us $100 million or less that we need to close this contract. We are $38 million away. That is 0.5% of the city's budget for schools. If she wants to end this, it's on her to end it. We need to put that pressure. We need to take this afternoon, talk to your community, talk to your church, talk to your neighbors. This is what will end this. Everyone putting the pressure on Lightfoot to close this $38 million gap. She figured it out for everything else. She needs to figure it out for us.
It looks like this.
Sí se puede. Sí se puede.
We're gonna walk out here really quick. So you heard that? It looks like the delegates are back in the bargaining table. We're gonna walk to the end of the block here, and then we'll look back and do do an outro. But again, this really is join us. They keep following us on Unicorn Riot. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Oh, you're great. You're great. Live stream. Just go ahead and like, follow. Again, we don't spend any money on advertisements. It's not like you ran into a commercial. But yeah, you can just like, share it, and let people know that we're out here. We're out here. We're live right now in Chicago. Walking through this rally. We're walking away now. There was thousands of people here. They're saying 30,000 out. That's what someone said. But somebody teaching for our more support staff. This strike, historic, you know. The strike organizers are saying they're trying to show what education can do, what educators can do for their students for the future, trying to get them these resources in their classes and their schools, having counselors there, having nurses there, because these students, they need it. They need the support. They need the support systems in order for them to be successful. And so all these teachers are out here just trying to get this contract signed so they get those resources into their classes and get the support the students need. Again, if you look across public education in the United States in general, it's been generally being defunded the past few years, or at least reorganized as they increase classroom sizes, less teachers, more students, in their eyes, more profits for the school, but less educational opportunities. Again, we spoke to that person about what it's like to have to grade papers, what it's like to have to grade a class of 56 papers, one person, or 46 papers, one person, and just imagining 5 minutes for each of those, the hours of work you're doing, and with each student it just increases, and you're grading multiple. It's not like you just grade once, you're grading every week. Anyway, so that's trying to make things more possible. They can spend more time with their students to ensure they're getting the help they need. Again, all the students are different. Everyone's education, how they learn is different. And teachers' job is what they're doing is trying to identify those things in their students as well. The more students they have, the less time they're going to be able to work with those students to figure out how the best they learn and be able to give them the skills and skills they need to kind of make it through the situation. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
We'll take a look as people are leaving. Tell a little bit more about ourselves. Again, you're watching this on
Unicorn Riot.
Hey, I was just going to tell everybody on the internet, we're a 501c3 educational nonprofit. We're a non-commercial media entity. We're independent. We don't take money from corporations. We just basically are out here. The people fund us by giving us
Lincoln
donations.
Yards hasn't funded you.
No, they haven't. No.
That's good.
Yeah, so here's a
That's
card. Yeah, so it's letting people know. So we're out here, this kind of providing live content. We've been here for a few days now, so.
Yeah, no, I was watching you when we were marshaling our way down here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta find out who these guys are.
Yeah. Well, it's an independent media organization, fueled by the people. Yeah, so to tell you again, if you do like this coverage, we need your support. We have a fundraiser going on right now, asking for people to sign up for $5 a month. You get some stickers. Get some stuff, and that really we're trying to build up a good framework of support so we know what we can do. We're out here basically everything you're seeing costs money. All of it goes back to bring this to you. This is live. I think it's been uninterrupted this whole time. That's only because we've gotten the support to get this far. So we're trying to kind of take the next leap. Came to Chicago to show you the teachers strike. I talk really fast. I can try to talk slower, but here it is.
Oh no, I don't do that.
Is everyone taking off? Again, yeah, so I'm Lorenzo, your host. We got John on the camera. I'm not sure who's running the back end right now. We are. We have some people in the back end too. It's on here helping out. And so this was a march. It was 3 marches, east side, west side, all these teachers coming together here at Lincoln Yards. We're saying it's had a massive investment from the city that was fast-tracked to the city council. The speakers are saying that it wasn't really done in the best of light. They're still trying to bring attention to how that was done, and saying they really want that sort of investment into their public school systems, into their teachers, into their students, and that's really what the path forward for the city would be. Okay, there's All right, so I think we're gonna let this music go by, and I think we're gonna take the feet down, right? You have the thing out here, right? You want me to take the camera? Yeah. I don't know how we're gonna do this.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, let's give us a second. We're kind of doing a lot of stuff right now. You don't want to talk about today at all? No, everyone's out there today. Get home right now. Anyways, the speakers of the end were saying the best thing you can do right now to support, I guess, is just to apply. We're gonna try to apply pressure on Lori Lightfoot and our friends, asking everybody here to kind of start calling, just making sure that they know they want this deal to go through. Saying that the last bit of money they needed was like $38 million, which is less than 1% of the CPS budget in total. We're gonna see how that plays out. Again, we're just here. We're just listening. We are wanted to just kind of provide this noise. This is a historic strike. All of these teachers are out, and if you've seen the sort of the upswell and teachers organizing and them hitting the streets trying to demand more funding for public education, there's a real kind of backbone of the United States in general, the public education system to provide education to the students here, just for the youth here. Thank you. And so yeah, we're gonna stay live again if you want. Put down?
No.
Oh. All right, just give me 1 second. All right, I was Lorenzo. Still am Lorenzo. I'm going to continue to be Lorenzo after we take this down. We have John in the back end there. We're just here to bring this to you live. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, really implore you to follow us on Unicorn Riot. You can check out our webpage, unicornriot.ninja. Click like, share, follow. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. And that's about it. Anyways, you want to support us? Drop some money in that hat. Unicornriot.ninja, support our work. Keep Unicorn Riot growing. I can't say more stuff. There's so much more stuff, but I'm not going to say any more things. Thanks again for joining us. Keep following us for updates.